Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well and you've had an awesome weekend. So today I'm going to do a swap technique on a large canvas. So this canvas measures 16 by 20 inch. I had previously done a small coaster size version of this artwork, but I really wanted to have a bigger piece made in this. So this is what we're gonna do today. Now, going big is so much harder than it looks. This is my fourth attempt at doing this particular painting. There was something in particular that I had in mind, so I really wanted to try and achieve it. So I had issues such as there was not enough paint on it, the paint was melting after I tilted, or my consistency of the paint wasn't right. So it just it's a lot more complex. So I'm super happy that I've managed to do it in the end. So once I had laid down the base paint, I started laying down the colors that I'm using. So here I'm not using too many colors, it's only about 3 main colors in this piece, which I'm going to list down at the bottom of this video for you. So I think the issue with the first attempt for this painting was I had left too much paint on the canvas. So as the painting was just sitting there and drying, the colored paint would just seep through the white base paint, and it just created this melting mess effectively. So this time around, I'm making sure that I tilt off as much of the paint as possible. For the second attempt, the issue was with the consistency of my colored paint. It was too much on the thin side for this size canvas. So I've put the picture of the results here as well so you can see. But basically when I was tilting and spinning the canvas, the cells in certain areas of the artwork was getting distorted and really wonky, and that wasn't the look that I was after. So coming back to this piece now, as you can see, I am now swiping the top of the colors with either a black or a white cell activator in various directions. Before spinning the piece, with my fingers I drag some of the white paint to the edge. Now by doing this, it helps the paint to move smoothly to the edges when I'm spinning and stops the colored paint from rolling onto itself. So at the time of doing this painting, I originally thought that I didn't put enough base paint down to begin with, but looking back at this video now, I think not having enough base paint became the problem in the end. But the original issue to start with was the fact that when I started spinning the piece, my colored paint wasn't reaching the edges all at the same time. So what was happening was I was already losing the base paint as I was spinning, and which meant that I didn't have enough paint to be able to tilt the colors where I needed them later on. So as you can see here, by tilting, I was able to get the necessary coverage on one side of the canvas, but I just didn't have enough base paint left on the piece to be able to get the coverage for the other side as well. While I was getting tired and I was frustrated for wasting so much paint, I was really determined to nail this painting down, so I just gave it another shot. So this time around, before spinning the piece, I decided to stretch the colors out to the edges a little bit more before giving it a quick spin. So at this point, I decided to tilt instead. That's because there were certain areas on the canvas that I really liked and I really wanted to keep. And if I kept spinning, all of that section would have simply flown off the canvas because they were so close to the edge. By tilting, I also had a lot more control over the composition of a piece because I could decide which part of a painting to leave on and which part I would tilt off. In hindsight, I'm really glad that I've made this decision because otherwise I would have ended up in the same situation as with my third attempt and not have the coverage that I needed where I needed it. Going big is certainly difficult. There are so many factors that you have to take into account that you just don't think about them at the time of making a piece. So I'm really happy to have achieved this despite some of the frustration because I've learned so much through this process, and it is a piece that I've been wanting to do for quite a while now. So now that I've done my first big piece with this technique, I'm really looking forward to be doing larger pieces going forward. I think they're gonna be fun and I'm really excited about it. So I hope you have enjoyed this video and thank you so much for watching. See you next time.